Hello, Blue Justin here, still Justin, still not blue, and this week's weekly haul has a large variety of titles for you, including some that hope you will find very interesting. If the light changes during this video, by the way, it's because it failed on me yesterday because I started too late and it was super cloudy and I couldn't read anything, and today it is blinding sunlight and I've had to close off half the room and hope that it doesn't move around too much, in which case you'll suddenly get me doing a jump cut and the light will suddenly change. In the meantime, let's get on with doing this because I've taken too long already. Right, and first up we have one which I believe is released today, which is the Zavvi exclusive 4K limited edition steelbook for Warm Bodies. Warm Bodies is a retelling of Romeo and Juliet, with Romeo played by R, the highly unusual zombie, and Juliet by Julie, a human survivor of the zombie apocalypse, who start to communicate with each other. It's supposed to be a romantic comedy zombie movie, and I really love. I haven't seen the film, but I love that cover and the colour, and it looks quite entertaining. It's got quite a few special features. It's got moderate violence and horror and one use of strong language for its 15 rating, and it's got Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos and Dolby Audio according to the back. Very nice indeed. Like I said, you can see probably on that horrible reflection that yes, I've got light problems all over the place. We've got gag reels, all sorts. I'm not going to go through the whole list, but trust me, there are plenty of nice special features on the back there. I'll just show them to you and hold them up, and if you want to freeze it and so you can read them down here somewhere, then you can. Moving on, not the greatest prison movie of all time, but I thought if I was going to try all sorts of different genres, at some point or another I was going to try the women behind the bars type genre. And if I was going to do that, I might as well start off with one that is reasonably well respected for its oeuvre, which is 99 Women. It's by Jess Franco, who's done a wide variety of movies, some of them more highly respected than others. He's got quite a few of the Fu Manchu movies from the 60s, Christopher Lee, I believe. And he's done things right through from like art house horror through to schlock type stuff itself. This one at least has they've got together a cast including actresses from the Odessa File and Thunderball, and Venus in Furs, and they've got Herbert Lom from the Dead Zone co-starring as sadistic wardens. This one is, apart from the fact it's a first time genre type watch for me, is interesting in that it's got nice, well, it's got a nice extra with an interview with Jess Franco, and it's got the author, alternate and deleted scenes, theatrical trailer, stills gallery, collectible booklet, and it's actually got a CD of the original motion picture soundtrack. I'm not sure what's likely to be on there, obviously the soundtrack, but like I said, I haven't seen it. So, however, this is a 4K restoration, And the other thing that should be brought to anyone's attention is that unusually, as an American release, no British markings, I bought it through zavvi.co.uk. I didn't think they did American sales. So whether or not this is a new thing and they're copying the Amazon idea of taking stuff from their American store and importing it, because I mean they specifically, as far as I understand it, don't allow you to log into the American store from the UK or vice versa and order from the other country. So maybe they're doing the imports themselves and trying out a few titles that are rare or unavailable over here that are available on their American store, and seeing what the outcome is. So we shall see, and I shall see what this is like. Next up is this one, which is Star Trek Lower Decks. This is season 1. This is a non-Zavvi exclusive. This is just a limited edition, I believe, steelbook. I took the shrink wrap off because there were reports of lots of bad scuff marks on it. I have managed to track down, using my magnifying glass light on it, a few small ones, and even with my decent eyesight, I guess I can just about make them out if they catch the light correctly, but they are very, very slight, and I'm not even going to go so far as to try and get money back as a percentage on it, which is unlike me. I'm looking forward to seeing it for the first time. I won't do a full unboxing since I've already taken off the cover. I can just do something quickly now. It's a lovely wraparound. I don't know if you could catch any of those scuff marks. If you can't, here's a hint. There you go. I think there's one somewhere just up here somewhere. Oh yeah, that's more, you can see more of my fingerprints. It's a total fingerprint magnet with its really glossy finish. The other parts of the finish which are nice are the lower decks, and the gold swirls are slightly more metallic. Very nice indeed. Inside wise, I don't know why I closed it. We've got rather boring blank discs, but I'll point out it's 15 rated for strong bloody violence, and that's the style of animation it is. I did mention it was it's an animated series, comedy type thing, done by the same person who does Rick and Morty. If that sort of, I don't know if it follows across with that same sort of humour, but I dare say if it's the creator is the same person, it'll be something similar. It is obviously fully backed because the roles of Q, Riker and Roxana Troy are voiced and guest starred by the original people themselves. John Delancey, Riker, well, I knew I'd forget, Jonathan Frakes and Marina Sirtis. But yes, so I'm looking forward to seeing that for the first time. Haven't seen Rick and Morty, so I'm not really sure what to expect. Next up, we had one that I said I would be expecting this week. In last week's video, I said I was expecting it this week because I ordered the DCs Legends of Tomorrow season 3 and 2 last week, and 3 came almost immediately, but 2 was delayed because of stock difficulties. But on the upside, that meant that instead of paying about £14 for it, it's come sealed, and just because I ordered it through Amazon, so it's backed by them, but it came from a third-party seller, new sealed for under a £5. Thought that was worth it, but I just had to wait a few extra days. It was worth having a little check on that. So yeah, add that to the collection. So now that brings me up to 1, 2, 3. Except it doesn't, because this week I saw number 5 at a below average price, so I picked that up as well. Which of course means now I've got 1, 2, 3 and 5, so I've left myself another gap. So just waiting for number 4 to drop in price. You never know, somebody might put it into a Black Friday sale. I'm doubting it, but one can always hope. Lots, again, DC stuff with strong violence, bloody images, gore, threat, horror. Not your, it's not, obviously not a light-hearted little outing for DC second different type heroes. So really looking forward to starting that one and making sure I do the crossovers at the right time with Arrow, Supergirl and The Flash, which I was talking about when I picked up The Flash season 4. That was last week as well, possibly, where I've got the week before, where it has the crossover episodes that make sure you've got to line them all up. Yes, just makes you want to have to go out and buy them all if you want to understand the whole lot, I suppose. Cunning thinking. Right, next up, it's the first of my imports this week, and this one is from Germany, and it's, well, the UK title would be Amazons, but German is Emerikte Amazon, Amazonen. It's a Roger Corman film, therefore we know the budget isn't going to be huge. Probably shot in Argentina. As for quite a few of his fantasy film types are from around that era. Deathstalker, this one, probably quite a few others. Deathstalker 2, 3, 4, whatever. I got this as a media book because this one was the only one with the guaranteed version that was going to be uncut. I think the similarly covered, by the way, cover by the great fantasy artist Boris Vallejo. Like a lot of the Roger Corman fantasy works around about this time, he managed to use either commissioned or non-commissioned artwork from Boris, so all good fun. It's 18 rated. It's the first time I believe that it's been uncut, released certainly in Blu-ray format. I'm pretty sure the UK doesn't have a Blu-ray format, of course, and it's the usual sort of, well, let's go with a sensible plot of Amazon with her group of friends go to liberate her people from a brutal king who has enslaved them after taking over her village. I dare say they'll be using lots of scenes that they've either used in other films or they have used them in other films taken from this one. And that's another one of Roger's tricks for saving money. It isn't a particularly long film. I'll put it down as just under an hour and a half, though the runtime of the theatrical is about 1¼ hours, so that's not going to trouble the watching time or anything like that. So, but obviously I'll be watching the uncut version. I think they've got something like theatrical, uncut, and the uncut with the scenes they put in, some of the deleted scenes type of thing. So it's all, yeah. So we got 76 and 88. Yeah, this is, they call it the integral version, integrated version, which actually brings it up to a reasonable running time. Similarly, at the same time, I picked up Barbarian Queen, another Boris cover. I don't think this one's commissioned. I think this is one of his standard artworks. I hate the fact it's got the logo on. And I was believing that it had a reversible cover without the logo, as they often do from Germany. In actual fact, I had information that it did have a reversible cover, which unfortunately, whether or not they've changed it since its original release, has turned out not to be the case. So, no pun intended. So I'm not particularly pleased about that. So I'll just have to put up with the 18 rating sticker. At least with this one, it is a sticker. And I like that one, which is printed on, and it comes off. It's outside the shrink wrap, so that'll just come straight off. Won't ruin the lovely media book. So yeah, right, on with my next import. Oh, that one's got another Roger Corman, as I said. That one's got another evil king, and this time there's a fearless warrior out to find a magical sword to defeat the evil king. They like to keep the plots nice and simple for us simple folk. Next up, my next import we have from Germany again. This is Evolution, in my opinion, a much forgotten and overlooked humorous film. Just to fit in with the fact that Ghostbusters is running about this week. It's an Ivan Reitman film, and it's all about a meteorite that crashes to Earth, and they find that there are single cell organisms on it. That's found by two of the nearby professors, university college professors, whatever. One of them played by David Duchovny. They send along a government scientist, and then they all have to work together when these one-celled creatures start evolving at an incredible rate, threatening the future of mankind. I'll just take that off. There's no point in me doing a lot of detail from the back because it's all written in German and I don't speak it, but I can make out there's a teaser trailer, commentary by Reitman, Duchovny, and the other two main actors, visual effects, making of, and a couple of other featurettes. It's the full front cover, very, very nice, I think. Nice and shiny. Again, a little bit of metallicism on this bit. And so they evolve from single cell creatures very, very quickly into, well, start off with middly bugs type things and ending up with on the back. Not necessarily ending up, but they're rather dangerous. So yes, really looking forward to seeing that again. It's been many a year since I've been able to manage that. So that's an update to my DVD. Next up is one that I've been looking forward to for a very long time, and you'll see why in a moment. And that is yet another German import, but there's a special reason for this being a German import, apart from the usual one of the UK doesn't get the Blu-rays or whatever. And this is Jason Statham in his latest movie, which is highly regarded, Guy Ritchie movie, and that is Wrath of Man. Unfortunately, in Germany, they renamed it Cash Truck. Crappy name. But despite the renaming, beautiful looking steelbook, and more importantly, 4K with HDR. I believe you can get a French 4K that actually might have slightly better sound, I'm now hearing. Might have the English in DTS HD Master Audio 7.1, where this has got it in DTS HD Master Audio 5.1. It's only got the German in the 7.1. Nobody's got Atmos on this, which is a bit of a shame. But no, I wanted to get the 4K, so I waited instead of going down the any other country's route. Essentially, plot, if you didn't know, is Jason is a bit of a wild-eyed cash truck, that's the name, rename, security guard who shows super skills when somebody attempts to rob his truck, and this astonishes all the rest of the guards and the people he works with. He's probably hiding a secret. I shall find out what it is when I watch the film, hopefully very, very soon. It's got some featurettes and trailers, and that's about it. But that's not what I was really interested in. It's a lovely steelbook, and it's 4K. Right. Just another small thing on that one is that, and Zabby could learn a very big lesson here. When Amazon Germany found out that they couldn't send it out on its release day, instead of keeping quiet and hoping you go away like Zabby do, they immediately wrote an email or a text message, I can't remember which, to me apologising, to say that it was going to be a few days late because they hadn't received their stock. And not only did they apologise, which I would have just accepted, because if you don't get stock, you don't get stock, it's one of those things. They actually gave me a €5 off my next purchase through Amazon Germany. And that's the way it's done, in my opinion. Which meant, either way, I could get close. And this one, I haven't opened it yet, but I'm confident it does have a reversible cover, because it's actually got the fact that it's reversible down there. I can't remember the exact difference between Freigeben and Fendi cover. Maybe one is alternative cover and art, and one just removes the logo. Can't remember, but I think they're essentially the same sort of thing. Action film, as you can probably imagine, looking at the picture on the front. It has got English DTS HD Master Audio 5.1. The only extra is a making of. It's quite short, about 94 minutes. Essentially, it's a nice, simple, we've heard it before, whatever type plot. The girl on the front is Sam, who's one of the world's best bodyguards, worked her way up through a man's world, etc. Takes on an easy job to protect a wealthy heiress, and probably spoiled heiress, I think. They really don't get on, surprisingly enough, but then they're thrown together when there's a violent kidnap attempt goes horribly wrong, and they go on the run together and probably learn to bond and everything. But no, since I've got my €5 off, getting this, including import charges, for €6, well, is it £6 or €6? Just over £6. Suits me. Next up, we have another one I've been waiting for, and that's another of today's releases, and that is the limited edition Steelbook 4. seem to say that a lot. This is Galaxy 4 Doctor Who, as if you couldn't tell by big picture of the TARDIS on the front. This has been reanimated or animated from some of the original remaining pictures, etc., using that as basis. It's only 4 episodes. It's a 1965 original story starring William Hartnell, with the companions at the time were Vicky, who were played by Maureen O'Brien, and Stephen, who was played by Peter Purvis. Yes, he did other things other than Blue Peter. And there's a really good, interesting story about landing on a planet that's headed for disaster, with the 3 suns you see here. It's about to either losing its orbit or something, and they're trapped on the planet. With the Dravins, a race of warrior women who want to steal the spaceship from the Rills. The Rills are a bunch of reptilian creatures, and they want to escape. The Doctor tried to force him into helping them by kidnapping his companions in turn, and the Doctor obviously is determined to broker a peace between the two and help everyone escape safely, and unfortunately no one trusts him. It is actually quite nice to see that even back in 1965 there were some good writers who were showing the whole idea of the Dravins, the warrior race of women type of thing, that they were going down the route of beauty does not necessarily equal good and right, and the reptilian Rills, ugly necessarily, potentially to our eyes, does not necessarily mean that they're the bad guys. It's good to see that someone was maybe slightly ahead of their time there, because this is going back quite some years. A little bit more detail on the release itself. As I said, it's a 4-episode adventure. Each one will be about 25 minutes. It's been fully animated in black and white, episodes 1 to 4. It's also been episodes 1 to 4 been animated in colour. I believe the colour palette they've used is quite pastely to match what would have been about at around that time, to sort of like age it, if you like. There is a surviving episode, which is episode 3. And there's some clips from episode 1. So what they've done is they've done a telesnap reconstructions of 1, 2 and 4, and surrounded episode 3. That's where they have got a picture every 15-20 seconds or so. They let the audio track run and they merge one picture into the next, so to give you an approximation of what's going on screen in a black and white live action type photograph way, even though you can't see the actual pictures move. They've done that on quite a few of the releases, or early releases. So, yep. There's commentary on all of the episodes. Obviously, a making of documentary. There's a finding of the actual Galaxy 4 itself documentary. Probably to do with the fact that a lot of the episodes were lost and how this one was rediscovered. The photo gallery, production subtitles. That's not the same as subtitles, or it isn't even included in the same information that's necessarily coming across in the audio commentary. That will include information on behind the scenes stuff that is put in the subtitles place. So all this quite interesting information there. It has got some PDF ROM content though. I do always worry about that, because to get at that you're going to need a drive that can read a Blu-ray, if considering this as a Blu-ray release. Very, very nice indeed. I believe, by the way, that the colour animation is also done in 1.78 to 1, so it's obviously made that way and then carefully made that way. So also the black and white 1 to 4 animations are done in the original 4:3, so they would match the era better, like the black and white one should. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this, and considering today is Doctor Who Day, 23rd November 1963, Doctor Who first aired, I shall probably be opening up this little set and watching it very soon. Next up we have something I haven't seen again, and that is Bunraku. It sounds quite interesting, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't have bought it. World without guns. There's a mysterious drifter comes into town, which is being terrorised by the ruthless woodcutter played by Ron Perlman and his army of thugs, and his thugs are headed by Vicious Killer number 2, played by Kevin McKidd. Drifter is forced to trust a young samurai, which is played by Japanese superstar Gact, looking to restore his family honour, and the local bartender, who's played by Woody Harrelson. Of course, he practiced his work in Cheers, and with his own secret score to settle, set to destroy the woodcutter's tyrannical and corrupt regime. They use cutting edge and breathtakingly fight choreography. It also has Demi Moore in, and according to this, it's a new take on the martial arts genre, which is in the style of Kill Bill meets Sin City. It's live action. I do have to open it at some point quite soon and check whether this is the first pressing or the fixed pressing, because apparently with the first pressing there were issues with the subtitles where some of the times when the characters spoke in non-English for a while, you didn't get English subtitles popping up to tell you what they were saying, which made life a little bit difficult if you were trying to understand what was going on. But they fixed that for the second release, and I'm hoping that after waiting for quite a while that they managed to do that for this one. And I believe this was only about £5 or something like that, so it's a little bargain this week. And if I find it, hopefully I might have to report back next week whether or not it's the right one or not, and whether or not I had to go and get a refund, or whether or not I can get the newer one. And finally, sort of late for Halloween, but a little bit early for Christmas, and that is a Christmas horror crossover called Stalled. It's a horror comedy, but it is set on Christmas Eve, therefore I assume they will have some Christmas type references in it. Basically, it's a down on their luck janitor who's had to clean out the cubicles in an office block, and unfortunately he becomes trapped in the washroom the very second the zombie apocalypse outbreak happens. Just going by the back, you can tell the sort of humour we're going to have. Will he be able to hit the emergency alarm with severed fingers and a catapult bra? Has he met his Waterloo? Will he just go potty, or will he simply remain stalled? It says it's consistently hilarious, brilliantly executed, cleverly constructed, and visually imaginative. Down as Evil Dead meets phone booth in a toilet. They have also put a bit of work in, because they've got an audio commentary, we've got some behind the scenes, the opening sequences storyboard, and another sequence storyboard, and the trailer. It's got strong bloody horror and strong sex references, which is why it's an 18 according to this. And that is my re-recorded selection for this week. I did record it yesterday, but like I said, I lost the lights so fast I could barely read anything. Today I'm now doing it with the curtains closed, so I hope that that's not affecting the image too much. So I hope you liked it. I hope you found something interesting there. I hope you can make some comments, and if you did like it, please hit the like button, and please hit subscribe, hit the notification bell if you're to receive notification when I do new videos. I do this one that I put out on a Monday at usually about 4:30 in the afternoon. But I have been known to do other videos and unboxings, and also I recently did a very, very popular for me top 10 tagged video, which got lots of comments, and I really appreciate everyone who did comment on that. Thank you very much, and looking forward to being tagged and trying to do some more of those, because that seems to have gone down very well. So again, like I say, thank you very much for watching, and in the meantime, before I see you again, please keep on enjoying the TV, the movies, and going to the cinema if you can. Cheers.